Yo, JD here, Limitless, and as you can see, we are back with some more league racing action, and this is in TSRL, the league that I do on Fridays, 8 PM, do a live stream. Having a little bit of a break at the moment because we are for the Christmas period, and this has probably come out after Christmas, so very Merry Christmas. Hope you had a good time with your friends and your family, got everything you wanted. But with this here, feeling very confident, as it's Suzuka, pretty similar to Silverstone and I say France. Those kind of tracks are probably my top 3 tracks in the game, so I was really looking forward to this. And since joining this league, it's been 2 out of 2 wins so far. Got pole in one of them, didn't get pole last time in Russia because Russia I was expecting to struggle quite a bit there. And this is the full qualifying format, so you can see I went out on the mediums first of all, didn't do a Q3 because there was only 15 people, so we went straight into Q2. And this lap here, even though the lap time doesn't suggest it, it's probably one of the best laps I've done on this game actually. Q2 is a lot slower than Q3, the track really grips up. So this lap here, I was going to start on the medium tyre because obviously with the full qualifying format, whatever you use in Q2 to get through to the final part of qualifying, just like real life, that's the tyre you will be starting on. But I decided to go on the soft tyre instead because I just really wanted to see what I could do, because I was quite happy with the medium lap. A little mistake in there, but overall I was pretty satisfied with that. And you can see how much up we are on this. A little bit of a mistake in this, and not completely perfect as I thought, but the rest of the lap was very nice. And you can see I think I'm about 6 tenths up at this point here, and I made a mistake on my previous lap going through Spoon and giving absolutely full commitment. That was pretty much perfect going through here. Really nice exit, and about 8 tenths up now if I could read that right. And yeah, we're going to blow away the current pole time, which was set a little bit earlier in the session. And the people in this league, I know they've been sweating very hard for this, and I was really looking forward to this race, as I said. So it should be a very interesting race, and going through here absolutely really nailing it, not really taking the mick with track limits or anything at all. Going across the line, it's a 27.2 in Q2. That is just pretty crazy actually. That is really good. Normally you go about 4 tenths plus faster in a Q3, so I was really eyeing myself up for a 26. Really wanted to do that, and you can see a video I did recently where I did do a 26. So I did 26.8, almost 7. Coming across the line here, my first lap 27.2, but there was quite a few mistakes there, so pretty disappointed in that. And this is the start of my final lap in the Q3 session now. Top 10 shootout. Let's see what kind of lap time I can actually do. So getting a good run onto the start finish straight as usual, going up into 8th gear. Some people stay in 7th for engine braking, but myself, I like to go in 8th gear, and you just braking just after the curb finishes. Not a good turn 1 that time, actually way too wide going to here, but left hand here was pretty nice for the right as well. Let's see here, you want to go half on this curb. Right hander not completely optimal, but this left hander here pretty much almost nailed that. So a few small mistakes there, so definitely not perfect. The brake marker ball has been taken out already, and let's see, going through here, 2nd gear. Really want to try and avoid using 2nd gear. If you can get through in 3rd, it will give you slightly better traction. But going to this one here, yeah, a little bit deep once again, so very similar to what we did on the Q2 lap. But the first sector was definitely not as good so far. So let's see what I can do going into Spoon and on the exit, because it's very important going down this main straight. So on the entry, not as wide as I would like, missing the apex, and on the exit almost losing the car, which really does kill a lot of momentum going down the straight. And you can see, just with the track evolution and the session being in Q3, you can see we're still up on our time, and yeah, I didn't feel this was a really good lap whatsoever. Going to here now, hitting the chicanes pretty nicely. I seem to be very consistent whilst I was doing that. Going across the line, it's a 27.1, and you can see by my reaction, wasn't too happy with that. Really wanted that 26. I was probably just trying a little bit too hard, but that was enough for pole position. I was really surprised the gap in the pole position, because I know these guys are very quick. I've seen them do much quicker times than that, so I think I was the only one who really actually delivered anywhere near their potential in that. So I knew the race certainly was not going to be easy. Even by looking at those qualifying results, I knew you can't underestimate anyone or anything at all. You've really just got to apply this consistency that I've been doing very well at this point. I think the podiums in my last 6 races, something like that. Got 5 lights now, and away we go, trying to get a good start. As I said before, we've been focusing on that for quite a while now, for the last month, and I've seemingly been able to get very good starts each time. And leading into turn 1, I think ERL Viper, who qualified P2, has gone down to P3, so that has helped me very, very nicely. And my goal here was literally just to get out the DRS zone, and I think if I got out the DRS zone, it wouldn't be a comfortable race, but I think it's all in my own hands. All I have to do is just be relatively consistent, and I was very confident that the speed I had would be able to make me pull away a little bit from the field. And you can see already, almost a second already at this point. But ERL Viper has actually got back past him, and you can see there's a little bit of a gap going out now, so I think there's a little bit of an incident. And yeah, I was just really focused and just trying to get out that DRS zone, because if you can do that in this game, it's pretty much game over. Obviously, if you have the speed in hand to actually pull away whilst you're at the DRS zone. Going to Spoon here, taking it pretty nicely, not going too much on that curve, just focusing on getting a very good launch here. Probably go put it up into high, and yeah, just keeping it into high. I don't really need to extinguish the ERS at this point. And let's see what the gap is going through into here. The gap is about 8 tenths, almost 9 tenths here. Going into chicane, you can see we're actually going a little bit deep, and that is, yeah, I promise you that was not a script or anything at all. But some people have said to me I was just braking. I was braking like I was doing qualifying, and it was just far, far too deep. And that has not helped me at all, because that has allowed the guys to get behind, to get right up behind me again. And you can see, moving on to the end of lap 4, haven't been able to pull away from ERL Viper, who's showing very, very good pace, which I knew he did. Seeing him in other leagues and stuff as well around here, is showing very, very good pace. And he's able to keep with me very comfortably. We have pulled away a little bit from P3, but moving on to some other laps now, towards the end of lap 8, and again the gap is still probably a little bit closer than it was before, so this is not comfortable by any means a stretch at all. And the pole time I did there would have been enough to put me top 2 in IOR as well, so yeah, even though despite that lap not being that great. So the pace, no, the race pace we're doing here is extremely competitive. But Viper is very, very quick. I think he's even on the controller here, so he's getting some very good traction. So coming towards the end of lap 9, let's see if he goes into the pits, which he does go into the pits, whilst RSR, Danny and some guys behind him actually continue as well. And I thought, you know what, okay, let's just go a little bit longer in this race. Let's not pit next lap. Go a little bit longer so I have 2 lap pressure tyres, because the DRS is extremely powerful around here. I felt I'll probably go lose track position, but if I come out relatively close and then get past him and then break the DRS, I felt good that I could actually just pull away. So that was really my mindset going to this. And I saw a lot of people on stream saying, "Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing?" But yeah, I really wanted to do this. I just wanted to have the fresher tyres. And if you know me, I always like to have that mental advantage of knowing that you actually have fresher tyres than someone else. And we've been held a little bit by that Ferrari, so that is not optimal at all. But now I'm just scanning the bottom left hand side of the screen just to see where that red ball is going to come out, and you can see his teammate has gone through, Ian Boy has gone through, RSR Danny's the one behind me, and you can see he's just gone through here now with a Sarah Racing Point behind him. So the gap is not big at all. There was a reasonable undercut, about 1.5 seconds maybe or something like that. So but the in-laps are very, very good. So it's game on now. It's game on to the end of this race. We've got 15 laps to try and do something here. And I should be able to get on the back of the Racing Point pretty quickly. Because he hasn't pitted yet. He's just going long on the medium tyre. And we've got a big gap to RSR Danny behind as well. So no threat, no pressure or anything at all. I can just fully focus on just going for the win here. And I haven't got any penalties or anything. I think I might have maybe 1 warning at this point in the race, but yeah, I'm pretty comfortable in that aspect. And now just to take my time, not to really take any risks. There's no point at all. I felt very, very confident because he is actually coming up to a little bit of traffic as well. So I felt if I could just get past him on the DRS zone, or ideally going through 130R, then I should be able to put me in a good position here. and you can see putting it into a hot lap, then overtake. And let's see, just thinking about overtaking because he's lagging a little bit, and I don't think he's really going to fight this too much at all, making it a pretty comfortable move. Completely flat out, and the gap is about 2 seconds here, so 2 seconds to find. Going through the chicane, I really do enjoy the chicane, getting some good traction off there, and towards the end of the race as well, his tyres, that's 2 laps older than mine, should be providing a little bit of advantage to myself. So let's see, I think we'll go stay on board, or we'll actually go on to the next lap here. See, going purple on this one, the gap, we've put it down by 5/10 of a second. He's actually coming up to his teammate now, so it'll be interesting to see what he's actually going to do, if he's going to make it pretty easy for him. So let's see what he does on the main straight. I presume he has got a DRS as we set the quickest lap of the race, which I think is just about to be beaten, which it is by RSR Danny, and his teammate lets him go going into turn 1. So that signals to me that, you know, it's helping him out, but I don't think he's going to be helping me out at all. So I presume they're probably going to be in a party or something like that. So I knew it probably wasn't going to be an easy overtake on AMS Z-Tex. Again, terrible of names, but probably completely messed that up. But I knew it was going to be pretty difficult, so I wasn't going to take any risks like I did come out of the pits. I was just really going to take my time because I'm relatively close to ERL Viper. And I knew with my tyres and stuff as well towards the end of the race I should be quite a bit quicker than him. So was not thinking about going down the inside, just taking my time. No point getting any wing damage or anything at all. There really is no point in doing that. So put it down to high, or put it up to high, and then go put it down to no ERS and put it in lean. So I'm saving a little bit of fuel and ERS. I didn't mind waiting until the main DRS zone whatsoever. I really wasn't planning to try and get him coming into 130R because it's a pretty risky move to actually overtake on. You can see not even in overtake or anything at all. I think we're just going to put that down to no ERS, which is exactly what we do, and not even rich mix at all. So let's see if he's going defensive. He's going semi-defensive. So there's no risk of me getting a dive bomb there as I actually outbrake myself. So that isn't good because I really do need to get past him this lap. I can't really afford to wait another lap because then it might be a bit too big of a gap to actually close down. But going in the straight line, we're quite slippery in the straight line. Going to the outside of him, really need to make this move done. Go around the outside of him and get the move done going into turn 1 and 2. That was a move I really did need to do. As I said, you can't underestimate the pace that Viper's actually doing. It's a very, very good pace. But moving on to the end of lap 15 now, going double purple with the overtake. And this should be the new fastest lap of the race, which again I think is just about to be beaten by someone on the soft tyre, I think. So we do 30.7, and let's see going through here. I think it's through turn 1 2 as it is. Callum does a 30.6, so just about a 10th quicker or so. But we're going to stay aboard at this lap, just showing you how I'm actually closing down this gap. And at this point I was just feeling really, really consistent, just driving. I just feel so much happier driving at the moment, and when I'm happier I'm just driving so much better. And you may notice that this equipment is the Thrustmaster, so this race was done a couple weeks ago or something. I am on the Fanatec now, which I love even more, getting used to it every day still, but the pace is extremely promising. It feels absolutely amazing. I wish I had it for this race actually, that would have been awesome. But yeah, still good equipment if you want to get started in league racing. I will be doing a video on that soon, on basically my recommendation as a starter pack when it comes to league racing and like just sim racing and stuff itself. But you can see we've just started to close in on Viper very, very slowly, not getting that corner particularly well there. But let's see what the straight line speed is going to be like. Putting that into hot lap and overtake, we've been able to save some fuel and ERS at the same time. And once again we've got a reasonable gap to RSR Danny right behind us. You can see in the straight line we are pretty quick here, so let's see what kind of traction we're going to get. Nailing the chicane very, very nicely, trying not to go on the curb too much, and let's see what we can do in the straight line here. So putting that into overtake, this is really just a test to see how close I really need to be. And you can see we're just gaining and gaining very, very quickly, almost going for a move, just trying to really scare him offline, which I succeeded in doing, and I think we still go stay on board again. So that just shows me I don't actually need to be that close to have a good opportunity going into turn 1, and also just letting him know that I am prepared to go for a move. Those kind of things sometimes where you're not intentionally going for an overtake, but you're just signalling to another driver that you are prepared to do something like that. It does actually throw them off a little bit of a scare tactic, which I know a lot of drivers do and stuff as well. My aim here was really just to get as close to him as possible, 3+ second gap behind, so I can afford to save some fuel in the ERS. And let's see what the traction is going to be like coming off here. The traction is reasonably good. I always seem to struggle off very tight corners, which I touched on in Monza and stuff like that. It's through the fast flowing corners such as this where I feel I really do excel, and you can see how much more speed we are just gaining from here, but just turning a little bit too early on the exit of Spoon. But this was definitely closer than it was the last lap, so I knew there would be an element of opportunity, and my aim going into the chicane was really just to try and compromise his line coming off this last chicane. That was my complete aim. So we're not intending to overtake him here, we're just intending for him to just have a poor run off this corner, and you can see how much closer we are this time. This should be a very comfortable move, presuming that he was in max settings last time, and you can see once again going to the outside. We're already going to overtake him going into turn 1, but the job is not over, because I knew in the first stint he showed that he could easily stay with me. However, I do have these fresher tyres, and that's what I was really hoping for. But moving on towards the end of lap 18 now, he is almost out of my DRS zone, so I was pushing very hard, and we'll be able to stay on board this lap to see us actually trying to pull out of this DRS zone. You can see 7/10 of a second, so we need another 3/10 this lap. So he has DRS on this main straight. We're going to stay on board to see if I can actually get out of his DRS zone, which is so important in this game, especially in league racing. If you can get out the DRS zone, and they're not having someone else behind them help them with DRS or anything at all, and you have better pace, then it's pretty much game over. So it's really important that you can try and get out of that DRS zone, which is why so many people at the start of the race in league races try and get out of that zone with all risks, to be honest. And you can see gained about another 10 in this sector 1. I really do enjoy this sector 1, pulling away from 3rd place of RSR Danny as well. Let's see if I get this right. I do get it pretty sweet this time, getting some good traction on the exit, and you can see the white arrow has almost disappeared now, which is normally the indicator he's just on the bubble of the DRS detection zone. Going through spin, really throwing it in, trying to use all the track, and yeah, a little bit scruffy, but still getting a pretty good exit as well, putting it into overtake. And let's see what the gap is now. I'd say it's almost a second, about 9/10 or something like that. Let's see what it's going through sector split, and it is 9/10, 0.976, so very close gap here. So I was really trying hard to get some good traction, which my tyres should definitely be helping me with. You can see the wire has already disappeared. Let's see what it is going across the line as we match our fastest lap, and it is 1 second now. So we have done that. So all you have to do is just be consistent towards the end of the race, and that was the story really. Towards the end of the race we were just super consistent, pulled out a 5-second lead in the end. We were just doing matching our fastest lap after lap, on the last lap almost actually beating it as well. Drove an incredibly consistent race, and a lot easier said than done. Believe me, the pace was extremely competitive, and I'm driving better and better each race at this point. So well done to them. GG to ERL Viper, nice little battle, and to many other people doing nice battles in here as well. Thank you for the support on my videos recently. Hope you had a wonderful Christmas, a nice little break. League Racing live streams will return on the 6th of January, so stay tuned to that. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you soon. Peace.